Hey, welcome back, everybody. Sign here again with another, quick create tutorial. Last time we did the steam engine, and it's chugging along like no tomorrow. And today we're going to be looking at different ways to speed up rotations. Right, yeah, okay, you do place towards me. Okay, good. Right. So let's come over to here. So the easiest and quickest way, well, maybe not the easiest way, but the cheapest way is to make use of cogwheels. Give me a sec. I like the music, but it gets a bit loud at times. All right. So current stress capacity, 262,000. Yeah, that's quite a bit. All right, so the easiest way, large cog, and then feed a small cog off of that. And thank you. Thank you, advancement made. I need to turn that mod off whenever I'm doing tutorials. All right, so you'll notice that don't look so much at the speed of the cogs themselves, but at the shaft in the middle. You notice that this one is now moving twice as fast as this one. And so, we've increased the speed by double at this point. We add a shaft here, and do large cog and small cog. We've increased it by double yet again. And you can keep this up as long as you have enough stress to feed this. Now, every create machine, the faster it moves, the more stress it takes to move that machine. So that is something to keep track of, right? And now from, here you could, keep going on and on. And I mean, that thing is zipping pretty quick now. And do it again here. And I mean, look at the speed of this little one's here. Now, the cogs and shafts themselves do not consume any stress. Same with conveyor belts. Any belt that you hook up to, a shaft or whatnot, does not actually take any stress. So if you want a very fast moving belt, this is a way to do that. There are ways to get faster. But, this is a it's very cheap. You can do it early game, but it takes up a decent amount of space to do this. But you can get something moving at, quite frankly, an incredible speed if you keep doing this, as long as you have the stress feeding into it. Now, our second option, a little further in-game. Let's see. Put that there. Just keep everything in line, right? And that is by using adjustable chain gear shift and the encased chain drive, right? Now, adjustable chain gear shift, we can look at it. Okay, let me go here first. All right, unpowered, exactly, behave exactly like regular chain drives. Source 16, 16, 16. Power it. Speed transmitted to other chain drives in the row is doubled. 16, 32, 32. However, if you power it and it's not being fed power, speed will be halved instead. So it's a way to, it's still by halves, but a slightly more compact way of, speeding up or slowing down things. Yeah. And using analog signals from the analog lever, which is a thing from Create. This thing here, the analog lever. It's just an andesite casing and a stick. And depending on the setting for this, you can output a specific, or output, not output, output a specific redstone power, which is kind of handy. For this example, we're just going to be using levers, right? So I put you here, and then we put you there, oh, no, like that. Turn you on. Notice that this one is now spinning twice as fast. Now, if I keep this up, and we're going to go with 4x, right? Which is what we did over there, right? 2, 4, 8, 16, right? 2, 4, 8, 16. You'll notice already that this is a lot more compact. And all you need is just some redstone signal at this point, right? So we'll just do that. And you can see that that's zipping along at an amount of force. There's a speedometer, right? Yeah. Let's grab one of these. 256 RPM. Come over to here. 256 RPM. So this is a lot more compact than those are. Or it can be, I should say. You can actually build these things in a spiral. Let's see, we would go, say, here. Then here. There. Misclicked that one. And then there, right? And then takes up just a 2x2, which is what this one does. However, it only takes 4 blocks versus the, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks to get the same amount of oomph to it. If I put you here, there we go. Now you do need levers, but you can kind of tag team levers together. We put this one here, it powers both of these. And if I put this one here, it'll power that one and that one. And then we put you here. It's a generator. Speedometer, 256, right? So, I mean, nice and compact, 2x2, basically power, like tunnel, I guess we can call it. I don't know. It kind of looks like a funky caterpillar, really. You know, this angle. Now, the third option, this one is, it's pretty endgame, right? I want to say endgame. It requires precision mechanisms, which are, you know, they're brass tier. And the reason they're brass tier is you need 3 deployers to make these things. You can technically get away with 1, but it's tedious, I guess would be the best term for it, right? Tedious? Yeah, it's a good term. You have to run it through a recipe sequence, which we'll cover in a future tutorial. You know, we got cogwheel, large cog, iron nugget, right? But then you see here, repeat sequence 5 times. Now, 2 things you can do here. One thing, you could set up 15 deployers in a row and feed them the items, da 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 da. Or you could somehow loop this item, which is your input item at first, back around. Depending on the pipe mods and whatnot you have and the filtering options and so on and so forth, it can be really easy to loop it around and fairly compact. Like if you have the Pretty Pipes mod or the Pipes mod or Thermal Dynamics can do it, Mechanism can do it, then you can make this fairly compact. At times, though, if you're doing just create, it might be easier just to set up 15 deployers in a row. Just because. Now, one of the things is there's only an 80% chance you'll get a precision mechanism with this. 20% chance of scrap. So we'll go into this stuff later. But if I put you here, right? Let's go ahead and ponder this. Rotation speed controllers relay rotation from their axis to a large cogwheel above them. Using panel on the side, conveyed speed can be configured, right? So we'll go with a large cog, put you right there, right? And it's got this wonderful, you know, setup that it does. We'll go ahead and put our speed controller here, or speedometer, not controller, right? Right now, 16. Go here, hold right click, and look, 256. And now if I wanted to, put another one of these here, put a large cog, say, oh, right about there, right? Yep. Make sure you don't click on this little box because it, yeah, interferes. Hold down, boom. And now if I put another speedometer here, well, we're still doing 256. And the reason is, that is the max speed from create. So 256 is, you know, it is the way to go. That's all you can do. But this is a 1-block method to speed things up all the way. But like I said, it's relatively end game for create. But once you have access to this, your contraptions can become so much smaller. Also, if I want, let me do this. I can set it down to 1. I can make something extremely slow. Which, I mean, depending on what you're doing, could be good. I honestly wouldn't I mean, unless it's a super compact build you're doing, I wouldn't use this to slow things down. However, 256 in one block is great. The downside, these two methods they transmit power straight ahead, right? From here to there. Same direction of travel. You can right angle them if you were to go through and put a gearbox in somewhere and then move them. Same with this or, this method, which they're both the same blocks. It's just how you arrange them. This one's a right angle. Can be relatively easily fixed, though, if we get a gearbox, right? Let's put a gearbox here. There we go. And now we're transmitting straight ahead. So if you need the power to go straight ahead, not terrible. If you want it to be exactly in line here, we can kind of do that with encased chain drives, which makes it a little bit bigger, but we're only looking at 3 blocks now to get it to go this way. But if you just simply rotate, where the power's coming in here, you can get it down to 1. So yeah, this is how you can speed up contraptions. Honestly, this one is probably the easiest to set up. It's definitely the cheapest. I mean, you're looking at a bunch, andesite alloy and planks, and that's it. And you can get going at a fairly decent rate of speed relatively quickly. This one is mid-game. These guys, the adjustable ones require these electron tubes, which is iron sheets and polished rose quartz. This one, we have to polish rose quartz with sandpaper. So, not the end of the world. Okay, you hold your sandpaper in your right hand, put whatever you want to polish in your left hand, and hold right-click. It'll polish it for you. Or lying on the floor. It's a thing. I never really do it that way, though. And then this, though, requires another quartz. So, depending on the pack you're playing, it may be a bit before you get to the nether before you can do these. But it will help compact, down your, speed up operations. Now, one thing to remember is the faster things go, the more stress you're going to need. This is not a problem because I am using creative motors. However, if you're doing water wheels, each water wheel, right, we'll search that up, 256 stress units. A large water wheel is 512, but it moves at half the speed as well. So it's kind of a 1-to-1 ratio between these two. Has more stress, less speed. Right? Or you can hold this here to ponder and it'll explain it, right? But these things look cool, right? Adjacent water currents. Additional sides will not improve, so it's not like an immersive engineering water wheel. Rotate at only half the speed of regular water wheels, but significantly higher stress capacity, right? Twice the stress, 256 to 512, but half the speed. So, yeah, it depends on a lot of it on how, you want things to look. But if we were to get one of these guys, you can do, technically, I want to say an almost infinite chain of water wheels and have them all output into the same block. All you have to do is supply water. So water wheel, I mean, if you have plenty of space, water wheels are honestly fine. If you want a more compact setup, windmills are pretty good. A max size windmill can produce 8,000 stress, which will honestly power a lot of machines. At max stress, though, or max speed, one windmill will power one set of crushing wheels, moving as fast as they can. So, kind of a trade-off. But at the same time, anything going in the crushing wheels gets crushed incredibly fast. But I'm going to go ahead and call this an episode. Thank you for coming out. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next one, signing out. Have fun.